Hey everyone. Let's do a volume check. Hey, Black Bob, can you hear me, Black Bob? Morning after Brian, afternoon, good news and extension. Yes. Hey, Will, can you guys hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying right now? I just want to do a volume check. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that, Vlad. Oh, awesome. Amazing. All right, great. I want to get started in a second. Let's let a couple more people come in. And yeah, we'll talk about this. Let's see, where's my notes? I'm just getting my notes up. And hey, Angela, Will, Vlad, Will, Bob. Cool. Thank you so much for guys for coming in. I just wanted to do this today. I did a lot of, my TikTok is pray, trade, repeat. And I call it that because, in a situation like this, being long in a stock like this, I can get kind of emotional. And, and usually I get, they say anxiety is when you get what you don't want, yesterday there was people, starting videos saying dilution is happening, massive dilution. I'm just going to say right now, this is never financial advice, but massive dilution is not happening. Massive dilution already happened. So this is most likely the best time you could buy the stock. But that said, I'm sharing the screen. Hopefully you guys can see the screen. Hey, Brian. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for all the support. You guys are so kind. And the reason why I came in today, as always, like I'm never selling anything. I don't have a Discord. I'm not trying to get you to join or buy t-shirts or, I'm not making money off of YouTube at all. I haven't made a single penny off of YouTube, off of TikTok. The only reason that I do this is to, actually, it helps me. It helps me a lot to talk out the thesis and what's happening. And but it also I wanna help others. I want to help others try to understand some fundamentals, some basics, some math, and the facts basically. Because we have these forums like Reddit and StockTwits and Twitter, and they're great. They're great for sharing information. Most of the DD due diligence is really amazing, and we have a lot of intelligent conversations. And then we're also attacked by these narratives and these theses. And the first thesis was that we went for months with people would come in, post whether they're bot farms or bears or just people that were fundamentally against the success of Incannex Healthcare. And they would say stuff like, reverse split. And we went through that for a while. And, we held tight and we held long, and we let everyone know this company has, is too good of a company, zero debt, bought back their warrants, has 73 million in cash. There's not going to be a reverse split. Of course, there was no reverse split, right? Oh, here it is. Here's my notes. It's just, I did some work this morning for everyone. So I got some notes here, and I wanted to address what I think everyone is is probably thinking. Because the chart it looks brutal, right? And day after day, we got some great news. It's pretty discouraging to see a stock that you believe in fall after what should have been a stabilizing announcement. So let's walk through this rationally, and and we'll just talk about what's happening, what's really happening, instead of and try to minimize the noise. And before I do that, I just want to say what's up to everybody. When will this crazy stock go up again? That's what I'm getting at. All right, let's go. All right, so I want to welcome all 30 people that are in here. Thank you so much for the support. Hopefully, we're going to have a really grounded, centered discussion, and then I'll take some questions. But I want to knock this out. So you guys, can someone give me a verbal yes that you can see the screen that I'm sharing? Anybody in the chat, give me a yes. You can see the what I'm sharing. Okay, great. Someone, Vlad says, will Nina be joining us? Not today, not in this session, but I'm happy to have Nina all the time. I really enjoy Nina, and I love her technical analysis and everything. I learned so much from her. So what we're looking at is the day chart, and why I want to look at this is, I've been charting this thing and watching every single day for a while now, and so I want to say this without like traumatizing anyone or freaking anyone out, but it's right in front of us. Okay, let's look at what's right in front of us. So this is July 24th. This big green candle is $1.66, and you see that trend line. So I marked out that trend line from the top of that wick down to the latest wick, which was yesterday, which was that high of like 42 cents, right? So move that up. That's the blue trend line, and it's coming down to this apex. Don't pay attention to that apex yet. Well, maybe. So if I go into, I don't know if it's going to show, but anyway, so if you measure out these daily sessions and you keep going down this apex, which I was hoping that this didn't mean anything, but I've been watching it every single day and moving this trend line every single day, and it does mean something. So now before I freak everyone out, I want to say this. So we had the 180-day extension that we got that 8K yesterday, and that was basically that was like whipped cream or a candy, because the company doesn't need to. They're not mandated to report to release that 8K, but they released the 8K yesterday, and then we're seeing the stock shockingly go down. Right? There's this dilution narrative yesterday, and people, oh, it must be dilution. It must be dilution. And this is what I want to get into today. All right. So why the stock keeps getting hit. This kind of post-extension sell-off happens all the time. Once Nasdaq confirms a 180-day window, once Nasdaq confirms in a 180-day window, the fear trade flips. Traders assume the company won't deliver immediate news, so they sell short into the silence. Meanwhile, algorithms front run that panic and force stops. You're going to click your stop losses and create liquidity. You can actually see it on your charts. Volume spikes on every attempted breakout, but price closes underneath the descending trend line. That's controlled mechanical selling. Market makers are walking it down to collect shares ahead of a rebound window, most likely before the 10Q or a clinical update. Okay. So we'll stop there for a second. Hey, Nina. Okay. So let me continue with this theory, because I want to help you guys. Hopefully, it's going to help you what I'm telling you right now, right? And so we're going to get right down to the brass tactics, what we're seeing on the charts. Okay. So one of the things that I have confirmed this morning is that the company can release material information between now and the 10Q. We've sort of established that the 10Q latest date is November 14th, right? That would be 3 weeks from now on a Friday, I believe. Maybe, 3 weeks from now on a Friday. So it would be 3 Fridays from now. It would be November 14th, I think, right? So they can release material information, meaning an update or any material information can be released. An 8K can be released. It's not mandatory silence, right? It was mandatory silence up into that compliance period of October 20th. We saw that. That's why it was so quiet, right? So the company can release information. Why does he keep saying the same thing over again? I'm going to tell you why, because I'm trying to set you up for the other side of this. If you look at this daily chart from 166 and you see how we keep getting stuffed down underneath this blue trend line, you see this wick from yesterday. I had to move the trend line up. Right now we're trading at 33 cents, 33.72. And I just read this to you. I'm going to repeat it one more time. This kind of post-extension sell-off happens all the time. Once Nasdaq confirms a 180-day window, the feared trade flips. Traders assume the company won't deliver immediate news, so they sell short into the silence. Meanwhile, algorithms front run that panic and force stops. Right? Okay. So if I counted all of these sessions down this apex to November 7th, which is 2 Fridays from now. And when you get to November 7th, you get to the bottom of this bottom trend line here, which is about 17 cents. It's 0.1701. So like I said, I don't want to freak everyone out. That's why I started with all the good stuff, right? And I started by letting you know that the company can release material information between now and the 10Q on November 14th. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm just trying to give everyone fundamental information that I see in front of me so we can compartmentalize what's really happening in reality and fight these insane narratives of massive dilution that most likely 99.999% the $100 million out the market has already been completed, and they're going to report that they have like $170 million in the 10Q and 500 million shares, right? So we'll get freaked out. These are theories, right? That's a wide theory, but I've been right the entire time. So basically based on that, I'm going to get to this point and we're going to move on, and I'll take some questions and say hello to everybody. So if you follow this apex all the way down, like I said, around November 17th, this basically what I'm saying is without news from the company all the way into earnings, this is the trend. This is the trend we're looking at. It's not massive dilution. It's just a simple trend. It's accumulation. And this is what's happening. It's just accumulation. It's quiet accumulation. It's people shorting. They're covering in dark pools. They're covering in dark pools. They're shorting in lit exchanges, right? The lit exchange is what we see, right? So I'm going to move on to the next theory. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to move along this because I want to give you guys really good information. There's no evidence of dilution. The company just confirmed the extension via the 8K. There's no new S3, right? I don't know if you guys have seen. I've shown you what the can I add images? No, but you guys, I did a cheat sheet on the SEC files. There's no S3. S3 is a shelf registration or an update, or 8K amendment showing the at the market reset, right? So the company just confirmed the extension by 8K. In that 8K, there's no S3. There's no 8K amendment showing an ATM reset. If they were issuing shares, the volume would look like waterfall candles. The volume with identical block prints and widening spreads. Instead, it's a high churn at tight spreads. Accumulation designed as weakness. Okay, very important. That phrase right there. Accumulation designed as weakness. Okay, and I'm sure you guys can sense some of the frustration that I have because again, it's going back to that thing. Like I said earlier, it's like, you know, the definition of anxiety for me is getting what I don't want. You know, or not getting what I want. What is it? What is that saying? Getting what I don't want. Right now we're getting what we don't want, right? And look at the optics, and you look at this chart, and everybody must be really. Let me take a few questions. Let's see, and then I want to continue to get through these points because they're really important points. But all right. Zane, I expected the stock to go past 42 after the extension news. It did go past 42, and then it got stuffed right back underneath that day trend line, right? because, you know, more or less, I mean, I want to try to stick to fundamental statements that are fact-based, but I will say this, I'll throw a fluff statement out there. I think that the 180-day was priced in by the market. But then again, or the opposite of that, or the market takes 2 or 3 days to digest 8Ks. Okay. Jacob says 4 Fridays. Okay, thanks, Jacob. Nina Zane, there was a serious resistance at 42. I'm expecting it to trade sideways mostly into November. Exactly. Okay. Vlad, remember the 52 days? Yeah. Jeffrey, are you saying the trajectory of the price could go to 17 cents? Hey, Jeffrey, it's good. Always great to hear from you. I always appreciate your support. Thank you so much for always being around. And that's a great question. Are you saying the trajectory of the price could go to 17 cents? I'm not. I mean, if you can see the screen, hopefully you can see the screen I'm sharing. I'm not saying that it could. I'm saying that it will without news, right? This is the main thing I'm saying to everyone. So I want to try to prepare everyone for this. This is where price is going without a material update or filing or an 8K, okay? And I hate to admit it, but this is where price is going. We now have 347 million shares in a clean cap table. What's happening and what's right in front of us, in my opinion, is accumulation. So what's happening is all these 347 million shares are being bought up. We're filling gaps. It's being shorted. It's being manipulated. It's being suppressed, etc. But it's also fundamental mechanics, right? So yes, Jeffrey, to answer your question, the trajectory of the price is going to 17 cents on November 7th. That's when it will hit 17 cents without news. Without news. Without news. If the company releases 5 minutes from now an 8K that says at the market complete, no new dilution without shareholder approval, because it saw that narrative on Twitter, the stock will fly. If it releases information that says that the rheumatoid arthritis drug IND, investigational new drug application, has been approved, the stock will fly. You know what I mean? I want to share another screen with you in a second. I'll just go quickly through this. I don't want to get into too deep a discussion because I want to stay focused on my thesis here. They tighten the float because it can move quickly. So I think yeah, that's the other thing, that it is super tight, but they are accumulating. So I think they will use buyback around the 10Q to keep the stock from falling back on PR. Hey, what's up, Lord Stanley and Preston? Thank you for your kind words and your support all the time. Hello with IHL folk. They are diluting. I believe they are using the buyback. Thoughts about the $100 million at the market. My thoughts on the $100 million at the market is, I'm going to say 95%. I would bet all the money I have that it's complete. A very 5% chance that there may be a little bit left, but that they may be saving. But I think it's done. I think they've raised a lot more than $100 million, and we're going to find that out in the 10Q. Let's go. But this is great, though, because this is the whole purpose of me being here today. Like I said, I don't make money. I don't get anything from these videos. I'm trying to present fundamental information for everyone and prepare everyone to fight against these narratives. Okay. If you want to do the math, Lord Stanley or Preston, people like myself and Nina are happy to help you do that, like, you know, in DMs and stuff like that. But if you want to do the math, I've already done the math, and my math has it that it's complete. All right, let's go. And because the math starts in April or May, very early May. Market makers holding in, accumulation is definitely happening. Right. If you believe share price may go to 17 cents, that is, nothing relevant arises from 10Q on Biden. Exactly. I don't believe that price is going to 17 cents on November 7th. I'm telling you, that's where price is going without a material update or any information. That's where it's going. I'm not saying I believe. That's exactly where it's going. Look at the chart. I move the trend line every single day. Look at these. This is the day chart, by the way. So November 7th, without any news or any update at all, the price will keep going down to that 17 cents, in my opinion. Of course, it's always my opinion. Why are they choosing to accumulate between 30 and 40 cents? Why not drive it to 20 cents to buy back more shares for cheap? They are. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing, right? So you answered your own question. My thoughts on 100 million, same as yours. They did accumulate at 52. All right. So I'm gonna get on to my next point. Okay. What the company can still do. This is the good news. How many people are in here? 48. Great. So this is the good stuff. All right, everybody, go put on your happy hat. So this is what we still have. Okay. We still have catalysts that can shift sentiment overnight, like in 5 minutes, right? So here's our catalyst, IHL-42X Phase 3 trial update. Very simple. It's ongoing. Even a minor recruitment or data note moves the price, right? IHL-675 IND, investigational new drug clearance confirmation. That's going to move the price. You guys know what that is. So we have a sleep apnea drug and a rheumatoid arthritis drug and a general anxiety drug. Addressable markets, in my opinion, around 60 billion combined. PSX update. So we have IXHL Phase 3 trial update catalyst, IHL-675A IND clearance update, PSX-001 update, the psilocybin therapy protocol progress. We also have buyback or strategic partnership announcement. We also have the 10Q filed with positive cash position reaffirmation, right? We also have any kind of corporate updates, right? Any of this stuff is just going to explode the stock. Now that said, before I go back to the questions, I'm going to share another screen with you, and I made this on ChatGPT, so just give me a break. Stop sharing. And I'm going to share this one. I'm going to find it. Let's see, entire screen. Select tab to share. Okay. Window. Is that it? Nope. Entire screen. Nope. Window. Chrome tab. Okay. So you know what? I'll put it back on here for now until I figure this out. Where is it? Oh, okay. Don't I have it here? Oops, there it is. Bing. That's not it. Oh, it is, but I don't know. Can you guys see this? Oh, I know what I can do. Well, anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys, but I don't know if you... Where is everybody there? Sorry about that. Anyway, I wanted to share this chart because it's so cool that I made. Cancel, share something. So I'm sharing this. How could I do it? Anyway, I'm going to have to put it in the chat or something like that. Wait, what is this? You don't have access to this feature. Manage. Ding, ding, ding. Pop out dashboard. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to move on in a second. I want to try to engage, show your support. I'm going to try to get this thing up. All right. So, okay, instead of looking at that train wreck. And then, all right. So anyway, so I was going to show you, in my opinion, a pretty bullish chart that shows that if they drop any of those before the 10Q, sentiment flips instantly. The stock is going to run. And I have it, in my opinion, and it's not financial advice, but I have like $2.50. The easy on an update on any one of these catalyst updates, especially like the IHL-42X Phase 3 trial update. It's going to shoot to like $2.50 in my opinion. Okay, let's see. So I'll get right back to you guys talking because I'm almost done with my whole thesis here. The 188 day extension bought time. they wouldn't have bothered to request it if they planned to reverse split right away. They're signaling, give us 6 months to deliver catalyst, right? That's what they're signaling. The manipulation is about the control of sentiment. That's what we're seeing. You're seeing a short-term game designed to exhaust retail, and it's working a little bit because I was exhausted yesterday. They feed fear because engagement pays. So that's what we're seeing on stock twits, Twitter. You know what I mean? People are attacking me. They're calling me a crackhead. They're saying, you know, buy some crack and stuff like that. Whatever they can do to shut people like, you know, like us up. Like, you know what I mean? Basically, anyone making any common sense or has any fundamental analysis and facts and fact-based, you know, you know, now I'm a crackhead and everything, you know. And by the way, I am a recovering drug addict, and I've been clean and sober for over 2 years and 4 months. And if anyone is struggling with addiction, please reach out to me and privately, and I can help you with that. I'm happy to help you with that. You know, let's see. So keep your focus on the filings, not the noise. Right? These are the notes I made today. Keep your focus. Everyone, please. When battling these people, we got to keep our focus on the filings, right? And for people with this dilution narrative, do the math. Pull the AK. The shelf registration, I think, is April 27th. Pull the file, do all the math, figure it out, see what the shares outstanding were. You can go on Yahoo Finance, and they'll tell you the share price of every single day. They'll tell you the volume that day, and you can figure out the mechanics. And what I am, and I think Nina believes the same thing, is that the $100 million at the market's complete. There's no dilution. And if you don't know this already, they cannot access any more dilution without filing an 8K or without filing a SB 45-3 or something like that. It's another filing. Basically, you have to see a filing, and you know which means you're going to see an announcement. But you want to watch the Edgar SEC page. You want to watch the filings. That's the point I'm trying to make. You got to watch the filings, you know, and not listen to all the noise. Okay. The whole strategy, Nina says, let me get to everybody else. I missed a bunch of this stuff. People think that Incannex will go it alone, not selling till $50. I love that. Yeah, I love that, Philip. What a crap the stock this is really turning out to be. Not necessarily, Lee. I mean, it's doing exactly what stocks do. It's actually a clean fundamental cap table. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It is being suppressed. It's not a crap stock. It's you're in one of the best setups that you could possibly be in. I mean, I would definitely be averaging down if I were you. Not selling to $50. All three will move the price. Right. Any little burp could move the price. I thought the extension would send it to $1, but that was priced in for the last 3 months. Everybody's been talking about it, right? Or like I said, you never know. It might you know, the market might digest it tomorrow. It takes a few days for 8Ks for the market to digest things. But the reality is, like, we need fundamental information. We need updates, and it's the same story, you know. Okay, people think Incannex will go it alone. Seriously, I doubt it. Wait 10 years to go up. One thing to note, Nina says, is the fee for shorting is going down and the shorting is still heavy, and market makers are slowly allowing for small down movements. The float is tightening and it lures shorts for liquidity. And Lord Stanley says, Blackwap says, Lord Stanley, I strongly believe they will partner with someone. Yeah. I mean, there's some theories on that. I want to stay away from that right now because I just want to stick with the fundamentals so that we can arm ourselves against the narratives. The whole strategy this year has been to avoid a reverse split. And I think what they are doing is pulling in liquid while tightening the float. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I agree with you 1000%. That's the whole point of this video today. Okay, so let's talk critical technical levels. So the downtrend resistance, the blue line, currently around 36 to 38 cents. This line has capped every rally since July. It has. A daily close above 38 cents with volume over 25 million is your first technical sign of a reversal. Until that happens, the trend is considered bearish control. Every bounce gets sold into. Horizontal support zone, strongest buyers historically stepped in between. Okay, trigger warning. 20 cents and 24. That's when, you know, I was there when it happened. So a bunch of you were as well. That's also where market cap aligns with cash per share, fundamental support. If it wicks into that zone and closes green, the most reliable signal that institutions or insiders are defending. If it breaks and hold under 18 cents, the chart technically loses its floor and could retest all-time lows, but that's where dilution-based shorts usually cover. None of that's going to happen, I don't think. You know what I mean? I just want to get this out and discuss this, but like these catalysts are going to come before we see any of this, the worst case scenario stuff. But it's always good to talk about everything, man. To get educated, talk about the worst case scenario, so you can have a fundamental discussion with people. Let me see. Okay, horizontal support. We talked about that. The apex of the triangle. Algorithms are likely targeting this for liquidity. That's 17 cents. You'll probably see an ugly intraday flush that rebounds within hours or days. If you're patient, that capitulation candle often marks the bottom. Again, this is what we're seeing without news. This is like absolute horror show, worst case scenario, no news until the 10Q. This is where price is going. It is, right? We have to live in reality. This is where price is going. But again, what's the other side? The other side is IHL-42X, the rheumatoid arthritis drug, the psilocybin, the $20 million buyback, the announcement dilution is over with, right? Okay. Bullish reversal conditions. You guys want to talk about this? This is good stuff. Momentum and volume triggers. If we close above the blue downtrend line at 38 cents, which is about right here, is that it? Yeah. I don't know. That's still below the 38 cent. If RSI breaks above 50 on the daily chart, if volume is more than 2 times the average, so about 20 to 25 million. Right now it's at 16 or 17 million. Follow through next day, no gap fade. Okay, the bearish continuation warning. If daily closed below 30 cents without expanding volume, if the MACD flattening under zero without divergence, if bid walls are vanishing midday and reappearing lower, market makers are walking it down. Okay, we got that out of the way. Catalyst news zones. See, this is the good stuff we're going to talk about now. This is the fun stuff. You got 2 main event windows before November 14th. Corporate clinical update. Anything on IHL-42X or IHL-675A will flip sentiment instantly. Okay. 2 main events before windows before November 14th. I think more, but or the 10Q filing, confirmation of cash, zero new dilution, and reaffirm pipeline funding could bring credibility back. When either drops, watch for if either of those news, watch for a break above the 9 EMA on the daily chart. Right now it's at 37. Gap and go through 42 cents. And I said that a few days ago, and then we got through 42 cents and it was slammed down. But yeah, gap and go through 42 cents. That's where shorts start covering. That's when the shorts will start covering. Yeah, so I think I got all that out of the way. I really wanted to share that other thing with you. But anyway, I'll just say this. I like 250. 250 is a nice round price. I think that's where we're going minimum with any kind of update of the next update. So that said, and I'll get to all your questions. It's all about 1 or 2 things. No information until the 10Q. We're going to see price ride down this trend line to like 17 cents. We get any one of these updates, we're probably going to go into the dollars range to I like 250 as a high of the day in one of those sessions. All right, let's get through these questions and then we'll shut it down for the day. It looks like people are leaving anyway. So, okay, one thing to note is the fee for shorting. We talked about that. The whole strategy has been to avoid. Nina says the whole strategy this year has been to avoid a reverse split, and I think what they are doing is pulling in liquid. Yeah, we talked about that. Support momentum is up. Vlad says very optimistic. Thank you, Vlad. It is optimistic. It's optimistic and also based in technicals and reality and fundamentals. Right. Uh, so really, the only thing that could go wrong is that I don't see anything going wrong at all. You know what I mean? I'm willing to watch the price go down to 17 cents if they don't want to say anything until earnings. Until the quarter, until the 10Q, right? Why would they do that? I don't know. To accumulate, possibly. Do I think they're going to do that? Who knows? We don't know what their intentions are. But I will tell you this: they know more than I do about technical analysis. They know more than I do about what we're discussing right now. This is just a discussion on basically factual and fundamentals, technical, just stuff that's right in front of us, right? Nina says, and to hold the share price for compliance. Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, compliance is not an issue until April now. So, right. Once you get under 21 cents a share, you're now under $75 million market cap with 347 million shares outstanding. But then again, we're 6 months away from compliance. So you have until April 20th to get the market cap back up again, if it does go to that. And believe me, while I'm showing you a chart and telling you that this is in fact what will continue to happen without news, right? What also will happen is once it goes down and accumulates all these gaps all the way back down to that VWAP, that original VWAP of 2160, 0.2160, where all the warrants were bought back at. Institutional investors, believe it or not, most people would be like, you're crazy. No one's going to buy a penny stock. They want this at the price the warrants were bought back. They want back in now because they gave up on this stock before phase 2 clinical top line results came out. All right. A lot of the whales, they got out when they bought the warrants, they pinned it. They raised $50 million between 18 and 20 cents, the initial $50 million in cash at the market. And people didn't expect phase 2 top line result to be good enough. Right. So those same whales are looking to get, smart money's looking to accumulate at those levels. It just is what it is. All right. Walter says it's obviously being shorted, but the price should be hovering above the $1 at this point. I agree. Walter saying IXHL would dump, knowing its history, like saying tomorrow the sun will rise, or you do need a crystal ball. Having to get back to work, Nina. Okay. What is preventing them from filing an SB to do diluting? Nothing. To continue diluting, you saying? Nothing. But have we seen it? No. So I'm going to assume that the $100 million is complete. Try sending a boilerplate DM. I don't know whether it went through. I'll check it out, bro. Vladimir, black screen went black. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Let me figure out why. Are you guys all still there? Okay, let's see. Something's going on. And I got a little bit of a technical issue here. Okay. Hey, everyone. All right. So earnings date, Dr. Maya is it's the consensus is November 14th. That's the other thing. That's the other thing that can be easy, believe it or not, like a simple statement or an 8K in the next day or two by the company saying, confirming the earnings date. Earnings is on November 14th. There will be a conference call on the 16th at 3:00. That's another huge update, right? So yeah, we have all these catalysts. Look, we want to talk about like the reality and the fundamentals of the stocks and the facts that are in front of us. That's why I keep showing you guys this chart here. If it shares again, hopefully you guys can see it. So this is where price is going, and it is accumulating because we now have $347 million shares and a clean cap table. Is it fun? No, but if you're the chief financial officer of a company and you're watching this happen, and TA better than me or anyone else, and you're watching all the accumulation happening, what are you going to do? Are you going to release news into it just for it to go back down and have to fill those gaps? I don't know. Right now, it's heading without news. It's going to head down to that point. Do I think there'll be news from them? I hope before earnings they will release news. But it's not dilution. So all these people that are saying dilution, like I said, I'm going to go back to this and try to stay as calm as possible, because it's really frustrating when you have people like us that are trying to make intelligent commentary and on the stock, and that work really hard and to provide fundamental information that and the only thing, we're talking about like the drugs, the science, the TA, the finance, the fundamentals, the accumulation, RSI, MACD, trend lines, this, that, the other thing, whatever. And the only thing these people's narrative, all they say is dilution. It's dilution. Like, let's have an intelligent conversation. Okay, it's okay now. Thanks, Vlad. Sounds like this is now the perfect time to buy. It is. I would be averaging down right now. This is when you dollar cost average this stock, right? Yes, based on the charts and even without news, I don't believe it will go below 23. Okay, great. That's a great. I mean, I hope not. I've been doing this and moving this trend line every single day. When do they usually put out news? I'm not sure when they usually put it out. You can kind of do an assumption of the math, but you never. It's basically, you never know. They will need to talk about study updates. Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's a great point. That's what we're looking for, Dr. Mia 1111. We're looking for those updates. That's what's going to move the stock, because they're going to be good updates. And he did it again, by the way, everyone. He did it again. If you look through the 8K that was released yesterday, was it, or 2 days ago? It says he did it again. He used forward-looking words in the 8K outside of the forward-looking statements, and when he discussed where the company was. I'm not going to say what it was, but he did it again. Basically, he did this in the before the phase 2 top line results came out. He omitted some information using adjectives, and basically he throws these little clues, and believe me, the results are going to be mind-blowing again. And we will see a momentum shift to the end of the month going into November, right? And this is earnings season. We have Trump saying China, India, tariffs. We have pharma. Today they were talking about pharmaceutical tariffs, yesterday and today, right? While it doesn't really affect us yet, it's still, we're in that sector. What time of day or is it sporadic? I don't know. Somebody said, oh, Henry Miller says in the interim to the 10Q in November, expect a pre-14A notice of 2025 annual meeting. Right. Yes. Right. That's what I'm waiting for, Henry. That's what I just said a minute ago. Yeah. Walter, Jeffrey will not skyrocket realistically $2 to $3. No, Walter, I disagree with you, because what we're seeing is all of it being bought. So on news, I think it will go to $2 to $3, especially without any dilution, because the $100 million at the market is complete. And that's the narrative we need to talk about. You're going to have, like, everywhere you go in stock twits and Twitter and Reddit, people are going to be talking about dilution. You have these like worst case scenario people, these bears or these skeptics, and all they can talk about is, now their big word is going to be dilution for the next 6 months or 3 months, and then it's going to be reverse split again. You know what I mean? They're not intelligent conversations. You know what I mean? So do the math, do the 8K, look at the shelf registration from April 27th. You'll see the $100 million market ad complete. They have plenty of money. At this point, they have like well over $100 million, in my opinion, probably $150 million, right? And 500 million shares. And that might freak you out. That might scare the shit out of you. But the reality is, if you have $150 million, you have no need to dilute the stock anymore. And in fact, it would be abusive to do that if you have $100 million in cash. Lord Stanley, hell with them, Brian, let him yap. Rawi, when can we expect the next fight? when the next fundamental update comes, when we see the a material information update, or like Dr. Maya said, a potential partnership, any kind of clinical trial science update. Okay, nobody knows. Zane, are we still being diluted? I don't think so, Zane. I mean, I would, like I said, if I had to bet all my money, I think I already have, because I have 50,000 shares at 77 cents. I have no shame being invested in this stock. I increased a position based on the extension. Lord Stanley, if it goes to $2 to $3, I'll most likely be shorted again. I shorted again. With fundamental updates, I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting thesis. But 42% rejection is a downer. Vlad, Brian, you can only assume that the ATM is complete unless a filing is submitted. It's not. It was the same with the extension. I believe we're going to see that, Vlad. It's very important. Ow! I have a broken toe and I just cracked it like an idiot. I think we're going to see that in the 10Q. I think the 10Q part of the 10Q is going to say that the $100 million is at the market is complete. If it goes to $2 to $3, I'm out. I agree with Preston. 130 to 170 million at this juncture. I think set your limit order this time. Yes, set your good to cancel limit orders. Take profit. What they have done to avoid reverse split shows they care about the share price of retail investors. Absolutely, and they've been doing it since April. They bought back the warrants. They cleaned the cap table. They spent $12 million buying back the warrants so that the 347 million shares, ironically, that's what we have outstanding, would not be diluted. Now we have those shares, but we also have 73 million in cash. They could have just left the warrants and gone bankrupt. They're doing smart moves. I mean, we have to wait until earnings till November. Jeffrey saying Joel is going to invite you on a podcast when this stock explodes. You'll be goaded. I hope so. I don't think it will go above $1 until March or April. Okay. That's it for me today, guys. I want to thank everybody who joined the live, and hopefully this recording will be on YouTube in a couple minutes if anybody wants to watch. And please share the link and with anyone that might be interested in some of this, some of what we discussed today. I always appreciate you guys. Like I said, I have a TikTok. It's called Pray Trade Repeat. I don't do this for followers, clicks, likes, subscribes, any of that stuff. I don't have a Discord. I don't charge money for anything. I'm not selling T-shirts. I'm doing this because I just want to talk and present discussions so that I can learn from the stock. And I always appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and for honoring my YouTube discussion. No cleared the balance sheet for them. Okay. Brian says, my big question is, do you think that it will hold $2 to $3 and not give up the gains again? I think it will on phase 3 success news. Yes. And remember, 42X is their biggest candidate. IHL-42X is their biggest candidate, and it's already in phase 3. So all we need is a trial update on phase 3 that it's successful, and then we're going to get that massive earnings thing that says that they have zero debt, $150 million in cash, plenty of money for all their trials, and we're probably going to get some more merger or kind of partnership information. I'm not saying buyouts. I don't think a buyout, but anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much as always. Appreciate all of you. And let's do the math. Don't believe these people that came in yesterday and bought 5,000 shares at 35 cents and then got mad, or 42 cents, when the news came out, and then they got mad because the stock went down a little bit. It went down 5 cents on one of the reddest days of the year, and then started making 5-minute videos saying that this is dilution. This is not dilution. So we have a lot of catalysts that are going to come up. This is a very, very exciting setup, and an amazing company that's addressing, 62 billion. We have a clean cap table, zero debt, 73 million in cash, that we know about. So that's all I have to say for today. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Brian says, I want a three-person panel with you, Nina, and Joel. That would be amazing. I don't know if Joel will ever talk to me, because I remember I had a crash out when I got so mad. I thought when they dumped millions of shares into the August 26th general anxiety drug PR. But then, I had to zoom out and look at it from the point of view of growing a company. That's what he's hired to do. And look what he did. He raised 73 million that we know about. Yeah, thanks, Lord Stanley Impression. Yeah, the internet is ridiculous, man. Next time we see Joel, it'll be in a baggie of white tea, scruffy hair, and shouting like a loon. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.